Hi everyone, my name's Chris Williams and welcome back to my listening project. Today our topic is called emergency status. And to me, emergency status is when things are just coming at us all at once, and sometimes we refer to it as being out of whack. We can't hear ourselves think, and we behave in ways that really aren't our true sense of who we are. And this happens a lot in everyday life. So it could be we feel like we're being emotionally attacked by someone. It could be that we're feeling just overwhelmed by all the duties of life. Or it could be that we're just in a very fearful situation for whatever reason. So what we're going to do today is a very practical tool that we are going to try to use together. And I want you to think about your own situations that you experience in your life. So for you, it could be that you're sitting at work and there's a lot of anger all around you. It could be that the kids are all hopping all around you and you're trying to do 20 things at once. Or it could be that you're a caregiver or you're sitting with a friend who is sick or ill and you need to be in a space when there's a lot of agitation around you. And what you're saying is, how am I supposed to get that inner guidance and that inner wisdom that we all have in these kind of circumstances? So here we go. What we're going to do is the most practical tool that we have, and that's using our breath. And we make it as simple as possible, and we can do this anywhere, anytime, and that is the beauty of this. It's really great to practice it when we're not in an emergency situation, but it's useful anytime. So what we do is we could be sitting or we could be standing. And the important thing is to make sure that when we're sitting, we feel that connection with the ground. Sometimes it's helpful to imagine we're sitting on a beach or we're standing on the beach and we can sort of feel our feet just sort of getting into that sand just a little bit. But you see that I'm sitting straight, pretty relaxed in terms of how I'm sitting. Now, we're going to do a 2-minute drill together. We're modeling it after football. And you know, when we get down to the last 2 minutes in football, this is where the teams and the coaches pull out all the stops and they say, okay, we're going for broke here. So what we're going to do together today is to breathe together for 2 minutes. My feet are planted. I'm sitting straight. And as I begin to breathe, I'm just going to focus on the breath coming in through the tip of the nose and out through the tip of the nose. Just very gently, in a very relaxed way, a very quiet way. Now, and you can try this out for yourself, I'm going to pretend that I'm sitting in a meeting and things are pretty wild around me. And as I'm sitting here, I am also going to place my hand sort of casually on my belly. This isn't a requirement, but as we're breathing and we're in these kind of situations, when we breathe in, we'd like that belly to go out because we're breathing from the diaphragm and from the belly. So this allows us to know our belly's going out when we breathe in, our belly's coming in when we breathe out. Now, so far, it's pretty normal here. And during this 2 minutes, I'm going to keep my eyes open because this is everyday life. If you can go in a place where you can close your eyes and it works, great. But we're going to keep it open, our eyes open, and I'll keep an eye on the time. So here we go. We're settling down. And you'll notice too that I don't have a big grin on my face, but I'm sitting here more with a relaxed jaw because this isn't a torturous experience. Okay, here we go. and we're about at 1 minute. Okay, so that was our 2-minute drill. And I can tell you, and I think you could probably tell by my voice and where I am right now, that I am certainly a lot more still than when I began. And so that's giving me space within. So I have more ability even to allow even my thought processes in if necessary. But during that time, all I focused on was my breath. So one of the things that I'd like to ask you is, how was that experience for you? Is there a difference from when you first started to where you are now? Was it challenging for you to sit there for 2 minutes in silence, just focusing on the breath? Or did you find that a pretty relaxing kind of tool to use? Any difficulties you experienced, or anything that made you feel good about the experience? And one of the things that we have to keep in mind is that practice does help. And I've used this in some very, very difficult circumstances in my life for longer than 2 minutes at a time. And I've used it sometimes where I could only hold it for a minute. But if we do this, and if we practice this, this can really help us through some very, very difficult times. And it happens in everyday life, and it happens in the midst of all of the barking dogs. So I ask if you might want to try this over the next week. See what happens. See if it becomes easier for you. You could try it when you first get out of bed, but try it in the evening, but also try it when you're in and around other people to see what that feels like for you. So until we meet again, may the listener in each of us grow and flourish. Thank you so much.